In a world where technology rules all and social media is king, we let these mediums be the matchmaker of our dreams. Our lucky bachelorette won't have to go through the awkwardness of a first date with potential partners. Why not just stalk their social media profiles and see if they could be the one? This is what you will see today on Super Stalker.
Yeah, we gon' burn this city down, and the only ones that'll make it out are me and you. Yeah, it don't matter where we go, we'll leave behind all that we know. Just me and you, just me, just me and you, just me and you.
I'm your host, Billy Saunders, and welcome to America's favorite dating show. Our bachelorette, Sierra Teleski, will choose one lucky bachelor based on entirely his social media profiles.
Thanks for having me here.
Well, Sierra, why don't you start off by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Well, my name's Sierra. I am from Erie, Pennsylvania. I graduated from McDowell High School. I am now a sophomore at Indiana University of Pennsylvania, majoring in fashion merchandising and journalism.
Well, now that we've heard a little bit about your background, why don't you tell us about your love life and what made you want to come on this show in the first place?
Well, I don't believe in love. What is love and what is dating? I just signed up for this show to maybe go on one final last date and give it a try.
Well, as a skeptic of love, what do you think are the main challenges of dating? And have you encountered anything in particular that has made you a skeptic?
Well, in college, I don't really think guys know what dating is anymore. I can't really remember the last time I've been asked to go on a date, sadly. Guys are gross and they only want to get in your pants, so they all suck, basically.
Well, Sarah, do you think that social media makes dating easier, or is it even a good tool to use when you're looking for a boyfriend?
Social media is terrible. I think it ruins relationships completely. It makes me a little crazy, honestly. Oh, I'm going to go stalk his Twitter for 5 years to make me feel better. Nope. Makes me feel 100% worse. I think it ruins relationships, honestly.
Well, you mentioned Twitter just now. What is your favorite social media site, and is it Twitter? And have you ever met anybody on there?
To be completely honest, I'm addicted to Twitter. I'm going to sit on the couch. I tweet every single movement I'm doing, and no, I've never met anyone on Twitter. I mean, guys slide in the DMs sometimes, but it's kind of creepy, honestly. I just ignore.
Well, speaking of creepy, some people think that social media and the internet can be a dangerous playground when it comes to meeting people. With shows such as Catfish, do you think it makes you more cautious of who you're going to talk to online?
Absolutely. Like I said before, I never really talk to anyone online. It's kind of weird to me because I don't want to meet them and then be somebody completely different than I imagined. I think it's very odd to actually meet people online, and Catfish just proves my point.
And with that being said about meeting people online, do you ever utilize social media when you're talking to somebody or dating them? And do you stalk or creep on someone's profile when you're interested in them?
When I first start talking to people, yes, I creep on them. I'm actually a huge creep. I'll creep for days to see, oh, what is he like? What is his interest? But when I'm dating them, no, I try to stay off of it because it just creates problems and fights.
Well, Sierra, now I think I'd like to know what your number one pet peeve is when it comes to posting things on social media, such as Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Number one pet peeve would have to be shirtless mirror pics. Those just need to stop. They should have been done in like 2005, honestly. Just screams tool bag. Why are you taking pictures with your shirt off in the mirror?
Ugh, I agree. Shirtless mirror pics, they need to be stopped. But since we are going to be hearing from these three potential bachelors and reading their tweets, why don't you tell me what you think people might think of you if they were stalking your social media?
Well, they would probably be like, this girl is completely inappropriate. She eats way too much. Why is her picture herself stuffing her face with a hot dog? And she might be funny, I don't know.
Okay, well, do you sometimes ever regret the things that you might say on Twitter or things you post on Instagram after you do it, since you referred to yourself as inappropriate?
Not really. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? I try to be kind of censored when I'm tweeting or posting pictures, but the night before when you take 5 tequila shots and you wake up, you never really know what you posted on Instagram or Twitter.
Well, now that we've got the chance to hear a little bit about Sierra and her personal life, When we come back, we'll stalk the profiles of 3 potential bachelors and explore their tweets to see if any of them spark her interests. So don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody. Now it's time to explore some tweets from our potential bachelors. We will take a look at 3 tweets from each bachelor. Are you ready to take a look at our first potential contender?
Yes, I am.
All right, well, without further ado, bachelor number 1. We're going to creep on Keller717. In his bio, he wrote, "The Boy," PAIUP 17. Keller717 has 552 followers and only follows 169. With 21.5K tweets, let's take a look at tweet number 1. "My name is Cody Keller and I believe in fitness."
Interesting. Sounds a little cocky to me, but I mean, at least he cares about his health and his body.
Cocky. All right, well, let's move on to tweet number 2. "You don't know inconvenience until you no longer own a microwave."
I mean, I guess that's only inconvenient when you're drunk and want to cook some pizza rolls really fast, but he's definitely not making me dinner in the microwave. He better own a stove.
Well, you heard it here. No pizza rolls. Moving on to the third and final tweet from Keller717. "Looking at my grades just gave me a little bit more motivation to finish strong. 4.0 season."
He's definitely a very confident guy. It's great that he cares about his grades, and 4.0, good job. I wish that was me.
Well, that's all we have for bachelor number 1, Keller717. So, Sierra, were you impressed?
Somewhat, but I'm excited to see who's up next.
I'm just as excited as you are, Sarah. Let's take a look at bachelor number 2, Chris Payne 333. In his bio, he wrote, "Thou shalt slitteth in thine DMs." He has 348 followers and follows 407. The first tweet we will look at is, "I love making crazy faces at babies when their parents aren't looking. LOL."
That is great. He seems very funny. I love babies, and I love making crazy faces at them too when their parents aren't looking. I do it all the time.
At least you guys have that in common. Very interesting first tweet, I must say. Let's see if tweet number 2 can top that. As we move on to tweet number 2, "Is there such a thing as a girl who still looks fine without painting her eyebrows with lies and fleek juice?"
Well, he's quite the character, isn't he? Chris, yes, I think there is such a thing because my eyebrows are on fleek and they're not painted.
Quite the character indeed. Wow, Chris Payne 333 has a very unique vocabulary. And moving on to our last tweet from our second bachelor, "It's against my core beliefs to like girls' selfies because I hate gassing girls and I liked one today, so I'm ashamed. LOL."
Well, he shouldn't be ashamed because if we're dating, he better like my selfies, and it won't gas my head up any more than it already is. No, just kidding.
I think it's safe to say that everybody enjoys getting likes on their selfies. I could agree with that. But there's definitely some major differences between bachelor number 1 and bachelor number 2, wouldn't you say?
Definitely. I can just tell from their tweets that they're completely different people. And they have very different personalities, so I'm so interested to see how the third bachelor will come across.
All right, well, let's not waste any more time getting to our third and final bachelor. Our third and final bachelor is Paranormal Activity. In his bio, he wrote SRU XI. He has 393 followers and follows 211. The first tweet from Paranormal Activity is, "Let's see how dirty the bookstore is going to do my bank account."
Very, very interesting. I wonder what kind of books he's buying at the bookstore. I like reading, and it proves that he might be intelligent if he's spending all of his money at the bookstore.
I agree. Not a bad first tweet. Let's move on to the next one. The second tweet reads, "If you use abbreviations to describe something while talking, I don't like you."
I abbreviate while I talk sometimes, so he might not like me, or I guess I'll change his vocabulary. We'll see what happens.
Sounds perf to me, Sierra. All these tweets are making me think of what people think about when I tweet. We're on the final tweet of bachelor number 3, so let's take a look. "A little reggae a day keeps the doctor away."
I'm down with that. A guy that can dance is highly attractive, and especially reggae. Wow, that's tricky.
Who doesn't like reggae? Well, Sierra, those were your 3 potential bachelors. How are you feeling about making your decision?
They're all so different and so interesting in their own way, so it's definitely going to be hard to pick just one of them.
I completely agree. Well, after a quick break, we will get Sierra's overall thoughts on all of our bachelors, and then she will make her final decision. You don't want to miss this, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Super Stalker. Again, I am your host, Billy Saunders, and I'm here with Sierra Teleski. Time to get down to business and choose your dream bachelor. First, what were your thoughts on Keller 717?
He seemed like a very serious guy, very into his health and his body. So that's good, I guess, but seemed a little cocky. I'm not really into the tool bags.
Now, were there any positive things that you got from Bachelor Number One's tweets?
Yes, his health. It seemed like he worked out a lot and he was at the gym all the time, so I guess that's a good thing, but I like food way too much.
Well, now, were there any negative vibes that you got from stalking his Twitter that you would like to discuss?
Just how cocky he was. I like fitness. Okay, that's cool. That's good. I just don't think we have that much in common, honestly. I don't work out.
Well, I know when I read his first tweet about fitness, it came across pretty cocky to me. It seems pretty apparent that you got that vibe as well.
Yes, I definitely got that vibe.
Well, very good point, Sarah. So now let's move on to our second bachelor, Chris Payne 333. What did you like the most about his tweets?
He was hilarious. He seemed like a very funny guy and a very easy person to talk to, very outgoing, very interesting.
And did you find that his tweets might be too much to put out there on the internet like that?
Absolutely not. Tweet what you want. There's no rules against Twitter.
Well, I'd have to say that you and Chris Payne 333 sound like a good match. But would you be embarrassed at the way that the things he might tweet would come across to other people, such as the friends and family in your life?
Probably not. To be honest, he'll probably be more embarrassed with my tweets. So they're good. They're good. Nothing embarrassing.
Well, I think that's a huge thing to think about nowadays with social media. People can come across much more different than they do in person, and it's really all about perception.
I absolutely agree.
Well, it's time to move on to Paranormal Activity, our final bachelor and your final love contender. What are your initial thoughts on Paranormal Activity after stalking his tweets?
He seems like a pretty nice guy, very conservative.
Yeah, don't know the words. I understand how that could feel, but I know when I was reading the tweets, it seemed like he was probably the most conservative tweeter out of the group. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely, yes. And he doesn't like abbreviations when people talk. He seems like he cares a lot, actually.
So, as a potential love interest of yours, would you say that you like the way that he doesn't put a lot of crazy and inappropriate things on Twitter, or is his conservativeness maybe come across in a negative way to you?
It's actually probably really good that he's conservative, but to be honest, I don't care. You can tweet whatever you want. It's kind of boring.
Now, out of all three, which one of his tweets was your favorite and why?
Out of all three of his tweets, my favorite would have to be the reggae one because I like to dance.
Well, like I said before, I think everybody likes reggae. So could you see yourself potentially making something work out with one of these three bachelors?
Absolutely. I mean, you never know what can happen. So hopefully something does work out in the future, but I'm just going to go with the flow for now.
Well, all right. Now that we got your overall thoughts and impressions of our contenders, it's time to narrow down to our three bachelors to two. So Sierra, is the bachelor that you like the least from the three tweets in the three? Which one would it be?
Out of all the three bachelors, the one I like the least would have to be at Paranormal Activity.
Well, now it's time for the moment you've all been waiting for, Sierra. We're going to have to make a decision. Are you ready?
I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
Okay, well, which one of the three candidates got your attention the most from the super stalking of their tweets?
Out of my candidates, the most.
Chris Payne wins.